Ladies and gentlemen, please do stand for the stand. Everybody, thank you. So I'd like to start this evening on a nice positive note. I'd like to welcome John Goodser from SAFA.
Hi.
Over the summer we've raised some money to all SAFA, so we raised £500 on Armed Forces Day, and the Town Council has doubled that, so I'd like to present them with a cheque for £1,000.
Can I just say thank you to everybody in Whitby for looking after us when we came up for the Armed Forces Day. It's important that military charities can touch the public and make them understand that the work we do is all voluntary, and we do what we do with the money to help ex-servicemen and their families. And some also goes towards people who are starving, who get themselves in a bit of a muddle as well, you might imagine. So this is important, and it's a significant amount of money. We tend to get people giving us £50 or £30 or £20, which is all very nice, but these amounts of money make a really big difference. So thank you. Are you a Lord Mayor? Yeah, right. So we all, we shake hands and hold on to the check. I'm going to put my shoes on for this.
Right, now what?
Right.
That's what I'm doing. Cheese.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Right, I can now say a happy man. By the way, I found it quite interesting coming here in the dark. I actually live in Europe, and as it got darker and darker, it became less and less easy to discover where this spark was for a start. But these two ladies, by the way, helped a great deal. They let me in and let me have a cup of coffee and have a little look in the museum. And so the trip was definitely worthwhile, and this is, as I said, significant. So thank you, and please carry on with what you're doing.
Notice of the meeting. Public notice of the meeting is given in accordance with Schedule 12, paragraph 10(2) of the Local Government Act 1972. Item number 1, apologies for absence.
Apologies from Councillor Harstone, from Councillor Mr Smith, Councillor Mrs A Smith and Councillor N Smith.
Item number 2, declaration of interest. To declare any disclosable pecuniary interest or any other interest which members may have in the following items and to consider any dispensation request.
Yeah, 7C, that's the county footbridge. The first one prejudicial, but the Borough Council makes a quite serious accusation against the Borough, so will not be voting on any recommendation or proposal.
Okay. Thank you. Item number 3, external reports. To receive reports on behalf of external bodies if present. North Yorkshire, please. County and Borough Councillors. Councillor Barnett.
Thank you. Not a lot to report. You don't already know about. I'm absolutely sure you do. The market consultation, as you know, is ongoing, and there's another meeting tomorrow night about that, and so on. And there is a public consultation out, and it's my belief that the market is about, what the people would be want, whether they live in Mayfield, Strenshaw, or Westcliff, or wherever it is. you know, it's not just a market like this in the street. I have no particular view. I just think that it's right to have a consultation where people are properly consulted and their views taken notice of. Which actually brings me quite nicely to the second thing that you'll clearly be aware of, which was the PSDO on dog walking from the West Cliff down the steps and so on, when they moved all that about a bit, and that actually significantly turned out to have one of the biggest turnouts on a public consultation in the town's history. It was a campaign conducted by local people, and you know, they were quite strange in what views they wanted. The council had listened, and now they've revisited all that, but it would seem that the PSDO on that particular access to the beach has been brought back to where it was. Probably there's another campaign about whether that's safe enough as well, because there are all sorts of health and safety issues surrounding that. So, you know, I think the people of Whitby who organised around that to be congratulated for, you know, making sure that this time their views were known. And I have to say that it seems to me, from the Borough Council point of view, that people did listen. And that's a good thing. Full council took place yesterday, and those of you who have got time to spare might have seen what happened. I have to say that I proposed a motion that they would allow us to have debated a request for an emergency general meeting, which they wouldn't allow. So a good number of us walked out of the meeting. For me, it was a democratic principle involved, which you know, I think you know, is worth struggling for in terms of, you know, what goes on across the world. You know, maybe particularly, you know, with Armistice Day coming up. You know, not to be allowed a debate, in my view, you know, is not democratic. And therefore, you know, I wasn't there to listen to the rest of the stuff that went on, because that took place within the first 10 minutes, by which time a good number of us had gone. You can see that on the webcast. So, you know, I mean, that's just my point of view. You know, I regret not having to be able to say a few bits and pieces about things that were on the agenda, which I would have done, you know, in the interests of the people that have elected me. Although I haven't even, you know, I mean, 2,000 people in my ward, you know, and I should be able to represent them. You know what I stand for, and they voted for me, some of them. Okay, now, disappointing, I have to say, and you might have a point of view about this, because I really don't know what's going on here, because it would appear that the restoration on the piers work has ground to a halt. I do not know why. Something to do with the weather. Well, you know, I don't know why that is. You know, I mean, you can paint Forth Bridge in December. I don't know why that is. You know, I mean, to say, well, you know, I mean, they used to have, you know, a hotline to the Met Office.
Do you want a copy of that letter, Councillor Barnett? That was sent by Balfour-Beatty to the Town Council.
Yeah, okay. Right. I'm not aware of that.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm not aware of that.
That explains it.
Yeah, does it? Oh, right, okay. Well, you'll be happy with that. the rollout of universal credit is causing a significant amount of hardship across the town amongst our residents. The employed, the self-employed, and the unemployed. And that's starting to get rolled out now. And of course, you know, I know that there's been a significant increase in the number of people who are having to use food banks. Now, we really need to keep an eye on this. And I know it's not the fault of the Borough Council. They are responsible for rolling it out. But equally, we have to, in my view, we have to ensure that, you know, people in the town are sort of properly looked after and catered for in terms of their needs, right? And as I say, you know, I do know, because, you know, I'm in touch with this, that the number of people having to use food banks in the 5th or 6th richest nation in the world is increasing. And I think the town council should have a deal on that. That was about it. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Item number 4, public participation. Chairman has standing orders for up to 15 minutes to allow members of the public to ask questions, make statements or give evidence about business items on the agenda, limited to 3 minutes per person. Ian, sorry, somebody's just asked to speak before. I don't
know if the council or our so-called borough council knows that we have now been Whitby, Scarborough, Salford, right down to Whitby. We're now called Yorkshire based, and it is for us businesses that are paying any rental value over 12.5%. You know, it is going to be 12,500. We have to now pay extra money to promote Whitby, and also promote Scarborough, promote all the areas in the cemetery. Now, we as a small business, yes, we've had the rates release this year, which is going to come, but now they're taking it back off me. And all into the Yorkshire base at the moment, as I've read it, they're going to do the jobs that Scarborough Council should be doing, putting extra business in Whitby, which is guaranteed Scarborough Council's job, going to talk to the police to look after the drunks that are out, in that Scarborough Council's job. We are going to, as businesses, have to pay myself, as my business, which is on Church Street, which is rated the highest business in Whitby, you know, my rental value is £715 per square metre. How does somebody even pay that? But I am now having to pay extra money to pay for jobs that Scarborough Council should be doing. And it seems as though it has never even been, it was brought up in 2004, and now all of a sudden it has come to Whitby, but none of us knew about it. We didn't even know about it until we got a letter, well, a so-called bulletin through our door, and then 2 days ago we got a voting form to tell us what we have to do. Now, to me, you are taking money off the small businesses. My rental value, I can tell you, is 28,000. My radiator pay is 750. Mat tie, which is I see 38, the mat tie on the Peel Road is £180 radiator value. They turn over 4.5 million. I turn over 300,000. How am I expected to compete with that as a business? Now, it seems as though it's been brought in, and also I can let you know, when the money is collected, the vote is collected by Scarborough Council, the money is collected by Scarborough Council, and they're getting 3% of that money. When I worked it out, that is, worked out they're getting 200,000, they're doing nothing. And then we're paying. And what they will do, they send them notice in November, December and January. As a business, tomorrow is the first day I've had off in February. And I'm tired now. Tomorrow is the first day I'm going to want off. And now I'm going to promote these. We don't want to promote, we have to meditate, we have to think of new ideas. go on holiday. They have, you know, this Yorkshire bid, I don't know who has decided it comes here. I have visited the site, and the two people that are on the council, one example is a holiday cottage owner. And she has a hundred holiday cottages on her book. She's a paying rate, but me as a small business is having to pay rates for that. And we don't need promotion. Whitby does not need promotion. I had a meeting with the girls, with the people that were in charge. Do you know what they're going to do? Promote a golfing event. Yes. How do we need that? We don't need it. A golfing event. Or we're going to give some more money. If the Creedance promotes itself, what Creedance promotes itself, we don't need it as a business. And that's, you know what I'm saying? But Scarborough Council aren't bothered. Councillors aren't bothered. They wanted the money. 200,000 they're going to get off that income of taking that money, and they can't do this, and that is unfair. And apparently, with the bids, there's 15 of us down Church Street that are going to bid against, you know, say no. Sainsbury's or the Magpie or Cusco or any of the businesses watch our bid because they're paying a lot more than us. Well, like this is unfair. Scarborough, they're saying has 550 premises in this bid. Whitby has 350, so we're going to get wiped out because Scarborough wants it.
Thank you.
I've got every brochure, don't worry, I've sat down with one of them for 5 hours and had to walk out my building.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sue, I'm sorry, Councillor Barnett, Sue has to be registered to speak.
Sorry?
Sue's already registered to speak.
No, I'm a member of the public as well.
Yes, but
Yeah, I think in a sense that I agree, you know, that and you know, it isn't the case that councillors agree to all this. What is that? What is the case is that we don't really get a say in it. That's what the case is. And, you know, I mean, I think what was said was absolutely spot on. Because, you know, Whitby is being used as something of a cash cow. You know, the rateable values and all the rest of it, right? Because it is a thriving little town. You got the Scarborough market. You know, and it's like ghost town. That was 2.7 million of all our money spent on that. You know, and somehow or other, you know, it's expected that, you know, the racial values and all the rest of it have been adjusted to compensate for that. Now, it's not the case that all councillors agree with us. I don't. And therefore, you know, I'm quite happy to represent that point of view, which has huge resonance with me as far as the, you know, the future of this town is concerned. But I'm not a decision maker. You know, I've got about that much influence. Thank you.
Thank you. Steve.
Get that one up. This is what was about the privilege. My name's sorry, for people who don't know, my name's Sue Boyce, and once upon a time I was a member of the town council. Many years ago. But we were still that time, yes. Firstly, I think you have, as a late circulation, a report from Mr. Smith about the funding. There was more than members of the and members of one. So, yes. Unfortunately, what I was trying to say was about answering questions, but I've been drilled on it, and I hope I might be able to answer any questions if you have any. The point that I really wish to speak about was, having gone through that with him, my concern was how that decision was arrived at by this town council. Because effectively what the town council has done is agree to borrow £120,000 over a time scale of 20 years and pay it back. Now, the only reference that I can find in the minutes was on 10th or 12th of July. And the motion that approves the funding was made in response to a letter received by the council. Now, I thank the representative of council from your life, and she may need to check this with works of the council, but I do not think the standing orders of this council allow that decision to be made at that point. I would have expected that the decision was referred to finance and general purposes, that their remit is to look at the decision in all its aspects, because it will have an impact on the future of the council and the town for the next 20 years. And they put their recommendations back to the full council, because to undertake a loan has to be approved by full council. But it needs to be a motion which is registered and put, which due notice is being given, is put on the agenda, so that members of the public have got the opportunity to know anything about it. To actually push that through in response to the letter received with no other prior warning is not democratic in my view, and I would like council to look into that. I mean, you cannot do that, you cannot use it, a decision, within 6 months it being taken, but I would question whether that decision was taken recently.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. On a slightly connected note, I have from December 2017 Scarborough Borough Council's plans for the bridge, the East Pier Bridge. The construction will be the same as that of the West Pier Bridge. The bridge is to be a single span, 26 metres in length, fixed to the masonry of the East Pier by a concrete foundation. I'd heard a rumour about a banana bridge, and now we're having a banana bridge, which is nothing like the bridge on the West Pier. So we're not going to have a matched pair, we're going to have something trendy and bendy. I hope Whitby Town Council will make sure we don't get a bendy bridge. A banana bridge is not appropriate. It might be suitable for the time, with its blinking eyelids. It is not appropriate for a Grade 2 listed building, which is the iconic view of Whitby Harbour. So I hope the banana bridge will never appear. I hope somebody here will make sure that it doesn't. Shouldn't that be a proper planning application, since it's not a significant change from what SPC agreed in December 2017. Maybe the funding is coming via using the dredger for other purposes. I don't have enough of this, but I could ask everyone to cast them around the village. One down the other side. I wonder again if someone in the town council could just check for the income from this model use of the dredger was actually paid into the Whitby Harbour Fund. And finally, the deed I could not agree more with this Mr. Speaker. The deed is a brilliant example of Scarborough Borough Council once again offloading its responsibilities, and this time it's managed to find another organisation, a whole new bureaucracy, to invent something called DD, which was first of all offered all the way from Cleveland down to beyond Middleton. Luckily, one local authority down in Cleveland realised that business rates are killing every business in the country, and the last thing we need to do is add on another 1.5% on everybody's business rates, whether they agree to or not. Because if it gets through by a majority of rateable value, not by number of votes, then every single business is going to have to pay it if they're paying business rates. That is not democracy.
As I say, that's on 2 points.
Yes, but that is one of them. And the other point is that there are 2 local authorities involved, Redcar and Cleveland, as well as Scarborough Borough Council. Scarborough Borough Council is backing it enthusiastically and is getting some advances from the admin fee. Red Current even said, stupid idea, we're having nothing to do with this, go and take it elsewhere. What a strange combination of two local authorities, what a strange contrast of two local authorities neighbouring on the same stretch of coastline.
Isn't the East Riding still?
Yeah, he's driving everything in the East. He's driving, yes, the two main ones are on the lower of Whitby.
Yeah, he's driving that bit, because the caravan parks will outright any bid from it.
If I just give you an idea from a short reading from this evening, one book is 100. If I could find the page that says coastal villages, which is a very small print. I've got 2 pages to sheet on here. If I find coastal villages, bring the first sentence on the coastal villages. I was taught in English language that a sentence is a collection of words that make sense. Right. Here is a collection of words which would have cost thousands of pounds to produce, which does not make sense to me. The villages that sit along the Yorkshire coast are important to the BID, the Business Improvement Development, and while there are fewer businesses that sit within them, they are significant as they create the link to the different towns that have their own experiences to offer. What a lot of waffle! If that's what we're taking extra 1.5% of our business rates for, I think it's time that the entire business population of Scarborough Council and East Yorkshire Council said, as Whitby and Cleveland said, what a load of rubbish, we're having nothing to do with it, go away. And I hope the town council will back it.
Thank you.
Vote no at the end of this month when the ballot on the bid is coming up.
Thank you. Item 5, Mayor's report.
Just something arising out of the...
You'll get a chance to speak
We're going to
on
speak
those
later.
items.
We're going to speak
Okay.
later. Item 5, Mayor's report. Civic engagement for October 2018. Councillor Wilson, Councillor Jensen, all in favour? Unanimous. Item number 6. 6A, letter sent by the council from information only.
Did you have anything to do?
No, nothing to write. B1, request for councillors to assist at the Christmas festival. So, guys, have you volunteered?
I've already said all this,
Yeah, we do need, obviously we are well ahead of the plan. We do need people down there over the weekend.
Yes.
I'm looking really close as well the stewards who are going to land through it. The more hands the merrier really on the land through. It's going to be big, so we do need a lot of, quite a few people there. Next year it's on Thursday. And also people down, talk about sheds and the keepers on the Thursday, Friday, and take them down on the Monday. So if it wants to help, that's fantastic.
Who do we go with?
Contact me
Yeah.
I just say that this festival was an idea that we've taken on to promote the town out of season. That the town council is doing on offering them back to do that. To extend the season, to increase football over the winter. To make sure we have more jobs in the town.
Thank you. B, Alpha BT, which is the coast protection scheme.
Yeah, it's got a letter there.
Please. Everybody read it? Have we received it? Councillor Wednesday, Councillor Collier. All in favour of receiving?
Are you voting? Yes.
Item number 3, transfer account police care footbridge proposed design. All received?
Yes. It's in your pack. I'll take mine out. It's the information regarding the proposed design. Notice discharge planning conditions in coming days once I receive full detail of dimensions. And that's the suggestion. It's a bit misleading because in the book it looks it's upside down. So what it's supposed to look like. It's just the way it's come out of the copy. That one.
Yes.
Yeah, it is very well proposed that we'll be going to planning. So obviously, depends on what people think of it, I might some changes to it.
Okay.
Also, it can't be identical to the west side, because the west side is shorter and wider, the east pier is longer and narrower, the footbridge itself.
Okay. I propose that we receive this information, unless you'd like to...
Sorry, what was your motion?
I don't know, that was... the west side, because the west side...
I thought you said something
The
about
difference between the east and the east extension is longer, and there's a narrower footbridge, that can only fit across it.
Right. Well, I'm wondering whether councillors think it's appropriate to receive it and, I mean, how long do we have to comment on this?
We've got the planning, we've got the planning.
Right.
I think, there's one of the planning with the South Council, so they can...
Yes, okay, good.
So can I propose that we receive this? Councillor Wilson? Councillor Coghlan, all in favour of receiving this? Unanimous. Item number 4, which you have used as consultation meeting, a copy here.
I was approached by a member of the public who pointed out that the slipway, which is on the west side opposite Abraham's Quay, the lights on it have been out for about a year, and they're concerned that this is both a health and safety issue and also for obviously for the purposes of criminal, security. The lady said she had actually written to the Harbour Master but hadn't had any joy. So I would like to ask if we can write to the Harbour Master and bring this matter up.
Yeah, that's fine. Councillor Coghlan, we second it.
Yeah.
All in favour that we write to the Harbour Master to bring up this? Councillor Martin? You in favour of writing a letter? And then proposer and seconder that we receive this report. Councillor Wilson, Councillor Stevenson, all in favour? Thank you. Item number 5, gateway meeting. Councillor Denison, have you got a seconder? Councillor Stevenson, all in favour? Thank you. Item number 6, emails and plans of private cars.
This has been reported to the several times.
That's allowed. But could I just ask all the police and we send them in? This would have been a useful thing to do.
No, it's already been brought up with
It hasn't been to respond.
It's when they've got somebody here to attend on the actual
Could we vote on that if somebody could attend?
On this point, these people are going in during the day, they're going in the evening, they've got a dog with them, they're rowdy, they're throwing cans about, and it's not young kids, it's adults.
but they are well known. Can we receive that?
Can we introduce this? Councillor Wilson, Councillor Coghlan, all in favour? Unanimous. Item number 7, to receive council, SBC market consultation, general public consultation. With regards to the market consultation, as the second meeting tomorrow, I don't really think we can make any decisions.
Can we refer to the next, or have a extraordinary meeting?
Possibly it could go to,
Well, we've got a planning meeting next Tuesday, so there's something else come in tonight that I've circulated to, which is about the polling district. So I think it would be a better idea to actually have a quick extraordinary meeting before planning next Tuesday. Put the market consultation on, and then you can complete the consultation questionnaire and any other comments you want to do. And you can also comment on the polling stations, which obviously didn't come in time for this agenda, but the consultation period is out before we have our next meeting in December.
Can I ask how many copies of this consultation are actually been distributed? You know, the survey,
yeah,
it's been distributed. Do we know how many copies of that has gone out?
Well, it's not just copies, it's online.
it's online and they're available at Church House, Eastside Community Centre, Green Day Centre, which is brilliant.
Right, okay. Because it isn't really just the tradespeople of which there are plenty of us, but
It's the residents as well.
The online survey became quite difficult for a lot of people to actually track down. And I know that we can get hold of copies at Green Lane, and I know that there are certain other places, but are the general public aware of that? Because I think they're not, and I don't know whether there is enough, I don't know whether there's enough of a hue and cry being made about it. Say, for instance, does the Whitby Gazette? No.
Yeah. What we could do, I mean, obviously, if we're going to have an extraordinary meeting, we can put it up on the website, on our news feed. That'll get on Facebook, it'll get on Twitter. We can put the link direct to the consultation on that. So we could do that before, well, we'll do the agenda tomorrow. So we can do that tomorrow, if the council wants us to do that.
Taking the word, that's it, I'm wrong. Yeah, I think that's a good way of getting it out there, because, yeah, I mean, I have seen it publicised, but I don't think it's as well as it should be.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we get it on our website and get it on Citizen Facebook.
Yeah.
And obviously, as individuals, you are all more than welcome to fill in one of these as residents and individuals.
Like I say, so we've got an extraordinary meeting next Tuesday before planning.
Have we got a second to that? Councillor Sumner, seconding that? Councillor Wild?
Sorry, can you stop speaking because I can't hear what's going on?
So we've got a proposal that we hold an extraordinary meeting.
Yeah.
And we've got a seconder, which is Councillor Wild, all in favour of holding that meeting.
Can I just, I'm sorry, I didn't want to interview, big event coming up, Christmas Festival and quite involved in that.
There'll be nothing to, I mean, basically, it'll be two items on the agenda, that's it.
Yeah.
And we've got planning for.
We've got planning that night anyway.
Okay.
So it's just by having an extraordinary meeting, it means that all councillors can be involved in it, rather than just the planning committee. Yeah, I mean, if you wanted the Tuesday after, you could have it Tuesday.
Could I second that? Proposal, because I'm actually in York next Tuesday, isn't it?
But you can do the Tuesday after.
So if it was the Tuesday after.
Have you got a thing? And Linda, all in favour? Against? One against, abstention? One abstention. Item number 9, motion submitted by councillors, proposed by councillors Kate Coghlan, seconded by Mrs. Wild. Whitby Town Council requests that any proposed changes to Scarborough General Hospital will be put before Whitby Town Council. We wish representatives of Whitby people to be kept up to date and also pass the consultation. Heather?
Yes, it was on the local news that a company from York is being employed to look at Scarborough Borough Council and to Scarborough Hospital. So it's a private company looking at an NHS hospital. There are mutterings, I think that the paediatric ward was mentioned on the news that they're going to close it. Now, I mean, we're directly involved in the consultation with Whitby Hospital, but I think because of the nature of where we are in Whitby, and, you know, we need Scarborough General Hospital. Yes, we need all the others around about and whatnot, but I would like to know what is going on with Scarborough General Hospital, and I'd like us to, Whitby Town Council, to start the consultation.
Councillor Trumbull?
From what I'm hearing, there's no plans at all to change Scarborough Hospital. I think it's just something that might have been misunderstood. But, however, I did write to the Secretary of Health a while back. I didn't get a very good response from him regarding healthcare in Scarborough through my role as Chair of the Scarborough Council, and I'm quite happy to share a letter with the councillors of Whitby if you're interested.
That'd be great, thank you. Yeah. Councillor Wilde?
Could we contact Scarborough Hospital and ask about what's happening? I know what Councillor Tilford just said, but could we ask in light of the local news announcement that could we have some information on what's happening?
That's the proposal?
Yes.
You've got a seconder?
Well,
So that the letter stating that motion is sent to Scarborough Hospital. Yeah, we're happy with that.
Yes.
Yes, if you want me to second that, I'm happy to do that.
So all in favour of writing the letter to Scarborough General Hospital? Against? Abstentions?
Oh, sorry.
Minutes to confirm the accurate following full council meeting and receiving minutes of the committee meeting. So we've got proposal to take on block, and Councillor Stevenson, are you seconding that? All in favour to take them on block. And now can we have a proposer to receive them? Councillor Coghlan, Councillor Sumner, all in favour. It's really hard work, that bit. Number 11, members' report, to receive reports from members nominated to represent the council and outside bodies.
I think Councillor Wilde is going to give her report on the harbour users consultative group to the next harbour group meeting. Thank you. Harbour. Yes, thank you. So, none tonight.
Item 12, flooding awareness, Van 5.5 meters, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th of November.
Yeah, received.
Councillor Johnson, Councillor Bowden, so all in favour of receiving that information. Thank you. Item 13, cash development, standing item. If anybody would like to enlighten me on where the little bit Village Hall is, I'd be really appreciated. I could not find it. I go around for 45 minutes. Did you go, sorry, you go down... Yes, down the road. Councillor Trumbull.
I don't know if the new work that have been carried out on the site, but I was getting on with thinking, so the Christmas calendar.
One small thing is that Heather King, who has come to see us for the last 7 years, she won't be coming again for a few months. She sent us a letter today saying thank you for welcoming her, etc., but she's going on maternity leave.
And then I've been getting the news about the development of people.
I'm anticipating that you might get a visit next month, because they've already asked for the dates for the next few meetings.
Great, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Right, there's a little bit of a
Yeah, I mean,
No, the 20th. Just let me have a quick look at the ward boundaries now. That's okay, it's on the 22nd. So yeah, if you want to do it on the 20th, extraordinary meeting on the 20th.
yeah, I heard that,
all in favour.
Well, I'm not
So extraordinary on the 20th.
And that's to discuss the
And it's the market consultation and the polling district.
What time?
Yeah, to make it 6. Okay.
Item B, proposed business improvement district for the Yorkshire Coast destination bid. Any comments on this? Councillor Wilson.
Well, I listened to the comments from the Member of the Public and Councillor Martin tonight.
I saw some of them.
Oh, sorry. I don't see how we can support this at all. I mean, businesses are already struggling, and to say they have to pay more business rates for what is a pittance in the grand scheme of things, I don't know how, I don't think we can support it anyway.
Right, ordinarily we wouldn't get a vote, right?
Yeah.
But because Pan Art Gallery are included, we actually get a vote. So we can now vote.
How much would that be?
Councillor Trumper.
Just, I mean, I kind of agree with Councillor Wilson on that. However, I do disagree with gentleman in the sense that I do think there is a need to extend the season in Whitby. I think there are issues with seasonal, you still have seasonal issues with seasonal work in the town. It was brought up by Councillor Barnett about food banks. And after talking to someone who volunteers at the food banks, one of the main issues they have is people who involved in seasonal work. Those businesses, and they're involved in seasonal work, who are obviously come to their own employment across the end of the season. So that's the issue. I mean, I think extending the season is a good thing. However, asking the businesses to pay for it, I don't agree with that.
Councillor, sorry, Councillor Sumner.
Yes, I absolutely agree, food banks, etc., but if you look at the facts and figures in here, I can tell you that for Whitby, and I've looked at the facts for Whitby, it'll mean the revenue raised from the levy would give us £763,000 a year, okay? But that's from the side and taking from there. I would just like to declare I have no interest in this. I do have a business in Whitby, but I don't pay rates because I'm below that. But I do want to support all businesses in Whitby as much as we possibly can, because that is what makes us such a good town. So from that 763,000, and here's where the food banks come in, the operating costs to Whitby are £110,000. That's several wages. And that's several people that wouldn't have to go and stand outside the food banks. The issue that I see here is that for that £763,000, it means £211,000 of postal marketing to do promotion and events. We're no good at that, are we? We don't know about marketing and events. £28,200 goes to our postal appearance, and that means making the streets clean and welcoming, according to this. Training business owners to become ambassadors for the area, because we're not already, are we? And become the new tourist information point. Does that mean that we do that tourist information point?
Already been done very much.
28,000 goes to coastal green and clean, which is educating visitors about leaving rubbish and encouraging businesses to reduce plastic. And 352,500 is for area-specific projects.
How much, what was the last figure?
The 352,000 for area-specific projects. So what they're going to do is ensure that big businesses are aware of how to access up-to-date information. No, that's how to do that, do we? Look to support existing event organisers in Whitby. Work in partnerships to improve and upgrade public recycling. Work with partners to increase visitor use of public transport. Work with partners to research and trial an expansion of the parking ride. Work with partners to research and lobby for the delivery of new parking solutions. Work with local artists to create eye-catching and unique visitor signage, and work with partners to identify ways of managing large visitor groups. And anti-social behaviour. So, we haven't got an ambulance here, we don't have a ambulance. The average cost of this levy to the businesses that have to pay it in Whitby is £628 a year. £628 that they can put into an house of their own, they can improve the front of their building because they choose to do it. People who come to Whitby and spend their money here do so because of the experience, and not because they've got local artists in to put a sign up, or somebody sitting in a nice comfortable office in Ashley Galazouche on £39,000 a year. And these guys are the ones that could possibly, if they were made more aware of what they can do about it, they could be the ones to overturn that. Because there's two criteria. One is that they have to have 50% of the vote, so the number of votes, and the other is that they have to have 50% of the levy. So if they have to generate £752,000, they have to have an excess of £350,000. So yes, we do want to extend the season, but we would also have the marketplace. There's no mention about the marketplace. There's no mention about anything that as a town we really do need. So my personal thoughts as a business in Whitby who doesn't have to pay this levy is that there are a lot better ways of improving it and a lot better ways of making the town look better.
Thank you.
When everything we've said, okay, how can we stop it going ahead? Can we stop it going ahead?
Well, you now, as the council, because you are responsible for the Planet Art Gallery, and we would effectively pay the rest of the Planet Art Gallery, you get a vote. But that is one vote.
Right.
But you can use that vote to, whichever way you want to use that vote.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, let's not discuss how we're going to vote. If the vote goes in favour overall of this bit, is there anything we can do to stop it as a council?
No. Still the prison outside.
Not unless you can find a legal issue with the ballot. And that means that you have to actually try and get the information from the big proposals, the big order officers, they're called. And they are very, 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 very difficult to get any information out of. because they just come up with, well, we're a limited company, so we don't have to give you any information. So that's the only way it can be overturned. Although there have been successful instances where the towns or the places involved turned around and they said, right, what on earth are you doing with our money? And they've actually put it to another vote, but that's a very, very lengthy process.
Councillor Stevenson.
Even though the council only has one vote, courtesy of the art gallery, which is good, I would have thought that, in spite of there being no particular legal weight to that in terms of the overall ballot, the fact that the council has made that position, if the council makes a public statement indicating its opposition and the reasons why, I would have thought that that would have some bearing in the way local businesses might view the matter. So just in terms of playing a leadership role, we may have a bearing on it.
There is another organisation within this building that also has a vote, right, which is the museum. And I think the museum are waiting to hear what the town council's view is, and they will take their steer from the town council.
So one vote and the two.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah. And we do have quite a big area.
So, I mean, the thing is, at this stage, we can only really influence the people in the town.
Yeah.
There is an organisation called Against Bids, and they have a website. I'm not saying that they necessarily can steam through the course of overturning bids, but there's a lot of information there about bids that have been incredibly unsuccessful. Like one, for instance, that the lady from Scarborough Council brought up as a shining example, that was in 2015. That turned out to be a mitigated disaster, and that was Dartmouth. So this Against Bids website tells you about a lot of information about how bids have been overturned and how towns have, at the very last minute, turned out and said, no, we don't want it. So that it's not a no-hoper by any stretch of the imagination.
Do you want to speak, Councillor? Councillor Howard. Could you just say, on the big task group in Whitby, there's two foreign business owners, there's Asian Customers. You can't read it. Right, two foreign business owners.
It's in the public domain, so, yeah.
It's there. How can I say the name?
It's written in the book.
It's written in the book. Asian Customers from Royal Fisheries and Sarah Water and Ingrid Flute. So these people must be representing on this big task group the views of businesses in Whitby. But what a lot of businesses have told me, they have not been contacted by these people to get their views before any of this has even moved forward 1 inch. We're almost at the end now of the bid process, and I know from what businesses have told me, the first they knew about was when the preliminary business plan came through the letterbox, and that the big people saw that as a wake-up call for businesses, and that's how they explained it. We knew we'd get a lot of feedback from this because it would be a wake-up call. Well, the wake-up call wasn't a wake-up call for a lot of people, it's just caused a lot of fury. But because with these two people here, these two prominent business people, they're representing the views of Whitby, and I think we should be able to, in some way, write to these people, write to the bid people and say, you know, what was their role and what should they have been doing? I mean, are these two independent people speaking for themselves or for the rest of the businesses in Whitby? Is it possible that we could do that?
Yeah.
Don't see why not.
Councillor Dowling.
I would like to take it further that if businesses in Whitby know that there are two representatives of businesses in Whitby on the panel, I would suggest that we have a good idea of businesses in Whitby contacting those people to make their views known about their individual business. Because we in Whitby town council can say we feel it's a good, bad idea, that's what we decide. But I think if they got bombarded with individual businesses saying what on earth is this about, we don't think it's a good idea, I think that will probably create more notice.
If only that were the case.
Well, I think I understand everyone's concern, but I think you're talking about you need to do everything. If there were two people there who are on the panel, then those two people need to be contacted by businesses to be told, this is what we think. Because if you don't, then what can happen is you go, well, we're on the panel, no one contacted us, we weren't aware of people's views. If you contact them, at least they can't say that.
No, that's the problem.
The other alarming thing about it is, yes, we have two representatives that will be, it's all very presumptuous, this. It is very presumptuous, but they seem to have got themselves onto the panel. Now, unless you are an actual, somebody who pays the levy into this, you don't get say at all. No whatsoever. And if you were to be against it, even though it's supposed to be a private ballot, if you vote no, and you try to get on these panels, and it's still legal, they can turn you down for whatever reason. And they don't have to give any reason why they're putting these people on the panel. It's like mapping.
Councillor Wilde.
Well, as I say, this week has been going 18 months. It's not like these two people have just appeared in the last month. This big task group have been working together for 18 months. So, for this just to appear in Whitby, you know, like last month, and expect people to be happy about it, it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous because charities are going to have to pay this levy, even though they don't pay the rate. It's the rateable value on the premises that they occupy. Businesses that don't pay this rate, any rate, are going to be approached to do it voluntarily. Some places are going to get 75% reduction, maybe. Will they use it like that, Gary?
Well, the art gallery would pay anything anyway, because we're on that sort of borderline, but we get a vote. But the museum would be expected to pay something, but they don't pay any rates anyway, because they're a charity.
Yeah.
So, but charities won't get, it's going to be money that they've got to find out of nowhere.
Yeah. And they can't give it meaningless. So people like Sainsbury's and Tesco and all the other places, they might be throwing 200,000 into the pot. When it comes to the vote, it's the higher aggregate of rateable value. So if 20 people, I know it says it's got to be 50%, if 20 people say, I don't want it, and they're only paying 10,000 between them, they're not going to turn away 600,000, are they?
Councillor Trumpet.
I mean, it did come to the council quite a while, didn't it?
It's quite a few years back,
Yeah,
and it was Freeman that brought it. But he brought it, I'm sure, on behalf of WDTA. Because WDTA had been approached about actually putting somebody on the task group. No?
Yes.
Yes.
Nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
When we voted on that, we voted against it.
Yeah, we did, yeah. So we said, no, we don't want this here for Whitby, but it went ahead anyway.
SNC elections next month.
Right, so we've got have we got any proposals wanting to come forward?
I suppose that we write to the people doing the bid and say that as a town council, we're not happy with it.
So we're voting no, is that what you're
Voting
saying?
no.
Well, you've got to make a decision on what you're voting, whether you vote yes or no, because we will have to put that vote in.
I just think we need to be clear. Yeah, I think we're right to vote against the actual concept. The bid being a good idea, and I'm just looking at Councillor Wilson's iPad, she's been scrolling through a lot of different areas, and most people have been against it. But, I mean, we do really, as a council, I mean, we do really want to create jobs in the town. I mean, some people may disagree, but extending, increasing football, extending the season, will do that. I mean, I'm saying, we just need to be clear about, yeah, I'm not game. I think create jobs.
That's not against it, I just don't see how this is going to...
No, exactly, I think this is the wrong concept.
Yeah.
But we need to be clear about not against the idea of spending the season and creating more jobs for people in the town.
What I can say is that as a town, we are very good at being able to promote ourselves, and we have a big business community. know, a lot of businesses will speak to each other, and on Great Lane, for instance, I know it's a very small thing, on Great Lane, for 15 quid a head, and it didn't cost anybody anything more than that, we produced 5,000 leaflets that went out to the town, information points and things like that. And we didn't have to employ somebody to do it or tell us how to do it, just did it between ourselves.
Right,
and I think that as a town, that Whitby is more than capable of pulling this together without paying somebody wages of £39,000.
Councillor Stevenson and Councillor Dalrymple.
First of all, I assume I'm probably speaking to most people in saying that Councillor Trumpet's views sort of stated, including obvious, how could we possibly be opposed to anything that would be of job creation nature. I'm not sure whether the proposals that were put to us would necessarily result in that, or whether it's the appropriate way to do it. But in terms of what we do, I guess there's two issues that have been raised. First by Councillor Wilson that we proposed, and the other by Councillor Weil that we send a letter to the two businesses concerned that have been identified as representing the
business as a whole as well.
I don't think we would be out of order by trying to influence the way people vote. I mean, talking about a fair ballot here, so, you know, where do we stand? I mean, are we on dodgy ground if we start trying to influence? Yeah, the way we try and influence where other people vote.
Oh, well, that's a different...
Well, no, about local businesses, I mean...
No. The two people on the task group that represent local businesses in the town that were on the task group, and the DV itself, writing to them and saying that
how did you engage with businesses in the first place to...
Sorry, I'm just concerned that if we were seen to be interfering, it could end up with the ballot being null and void.
Councillor Darwin, sorry, have you finished?
Yes.
Councillor Darwin.
I would like to support Councillor Trump in terms of, I do think it's important that if we take any decision not to support this bid, that we do preface it with the fact that we want to support businesses, enhance the seas and develop Whitby, but we feel that this is not the way forward, not least because it appears to place all the financial burden on our local, businesses. And maybe it may not seem to be influenced. If we took a decision to vote no, then maybe a statement to that effect could be put on the Whitby Town Council website to say, in this decision, if we vote no, it becomes a public document, everyone knows about it. The fact that we actually just say on the website we decided to vote no because we don't feel that this is the best way forward for Whitby. I can't see anything wrong with that. We're not influencing, we're making a statement.
Councillor Cobbler.
There's an expression, don't teach your granny to suck eggs. Whitby's actually Whitby's genius at reinventing itself. I mean, the young people who used to be going out on the trawlers at 5 o'clock in the morning catching fish are now working in top-class restaurants, and now some of them are world-famous restaurants. And they're not out in the cold, they're working hard in the kitchens and learning to be chefs and so on and so forth. We have a fishing school that was invented to educate people to go to sea. But, I mean, from the days when the women were on the banks and the men went to sea and the women were on the chandlery, so when the ships came in, they got the ships resupplied and sent back out again. But I really do think it's teaching your granny to suck eggs. I think it's insulting this. Why on earth would you want to spend money on a ghost tour? And don't let's forget, there's not just business people in this town, there are residents in this town who live here, and I mean, parking's nightmare. Extend the parking right. You don't need £350,000 to extend it.
No, that's not to extend it, that's just to consult.
And if there was anything, and I've been here a short while, but I do feel that I've got to know some people really, really well. And you know, the one thing that actually we probably don't want to be doing is putting more young people into jobs where they're going to get paid £7 an hour if they're very, very lucky. You know, maybe we should be concentrating our efforts on what we are good at as well. You know, the fishing side of things, you know, the shellfish, you know, the restaurants and that sort of thing. Those are all things that we're very, very good at. We don't have empty shops. You know, I can't think of one single empty shop that isn't got somebody queuing up to get in there. And these bids were brought up with the view in mind that, for instance, the region of high streets have failed in so many places because they've let the big boys come in and trampled on the little man, and that's what's happened. And we haven't let that happen, and we ought to be proud of ourselves for that. You don't need it, I don't think.
I think what we need is we need a clear proposal on what we're going, how we're moving forward with this. Councillor Stevens.
If it's appropriate, I'll move a single motion with 3 parts to it. I'll let you decide whether it should be one motion or several. But I will move that the council exercise its vote against the bid, and that the decision of the council be put on the council's website, together with a statement that while welcoming any ideas which may encourage additional employment in the town, we don't believe that this is an appropriate way to do it and is an unnecessary imposition on local business. And thirdly, that we write to VID people and the 2 businesses that appear to have been chosen as representing to seek some details as to the manner in which that has occurred.
Yeah, I'll second that. So we've got proposal and a seconder. All in favour?
Unanimous.
Again? Abstentions? Was it unanimous? Sorry, it was unanimous. We guys are there, right?
So that was a unanimous vote. So I will exercise on behalf of the council the vote on the ballot paper of no. No.
C, letters from residents regarding funding of East Cape Bridge and collect initial response. I've circulated some more information to you tonight, which was sent by, well, I don't actually know who it was sent by. I haven't got the person's name, but it was certainly passed on by a person who lives in Brixworth. But he's not a Whitby resident. I've also circulated as a reminder the letter that we got from Scarborough Council that we based our decision upon. Sorry, Councillor Darwin.
Yeah, can I just start? I had quite a lot of difficulty trying to understand what the information you were sent was supposed to mean, ranging from someone that seemed to indicate that they could come up with a cheaper quote to build a bridge because they've done it before and they've got experience, to then the funding stream that we were looking at, what's going on was wrong. I suppose the only point I would make that could have some validity is that if there is a contingency that isn't spent, then I would like to see that is brought back to Whitby Town Council. We've committed our £120,000, but if that is, if that includes a contingency which isn't spent, then I'd expect that contingency, that money comes back to the council, which then reduces our contribution accordingly.
I'm not going to go ahead of the motion, because I'm going to keep going, but I will say that I am very disappointed that 200 of the budget of Whitby stands and not thank the town council in actually providing the new bridge to the East Pier. This is something that's been talked about for 10, 20 years, 15 years since it was taken down. And we're doing a positive move by replacing that bridge and putting a new bridge up. And frankly, there was no well done, it was basically criticism of maybe the illegal implications of the decisions. Fighting Whitby, I mean, we're fighting Whitby by putting that bridge back up. But I don't tell you now, I just can't believe I am across that. They should take that kind of attitude. And I also want to point out that the legal fees generated by Whitby against Borough Council is coming out of the Whitby Harbour fees. Whitby Harbour fees. Not coming out of the money from Whitby Harbour, generated to pay the money from Whitby Harbour. So they're losing money, they're paying money to fight a legal battle with fight for Whitby. So Whitby is taking money off Whitby people to fight Borough Council. There's no money that which is paid for the legal battle coming out of the Whitby people's pocket, and the money that should be spent on the maintenance of the harbour. I think it's just unbelievable.
Shouldn't that sort of money, it would be town council, shall go down to the government?
What?
Isn't that money, that money was generated from that?
Yeah.
Should come to the town council, shall we should never take money?
The money is coming out of Whitby Harbour. We can't just get rid of it off topic.
Yeah, the point is that somebody has looked at the figures, and they've put the figures in one column, right, and the figures in another column. There's a sum of 122,000 for the footbridge, right, and they've said we're not paying for the footbridge, we're paying for the maintenance. Well, if you swap that figure from that column to that column, we're actually paying for the footbridge, not the maintenance. It's whichever way you want to look at it. What we said was that we would contribute to the footbridge to make sure it happened at the same time as the rest of the works.
And I think as a council we should stand by that decision that we made.
Definitely.
I propose that we just receive this letter and reply, because I think we can reply to it, study these two further.
Have we got a second for that?
Can I ask a question? So, you know the accusation that we didn't follow due process in coming to the decision of giving the monies? Is there any truth in that?
Well, only if it affected the council's budget, that we were having to find this money from the residents, right, then yes, potentially it should have been referred back to the Finance Committee to look at the budget to see if we could afford it. But the whole point was that the community donation that we're getting from the toilets, which is basically the extra 10p's, 50p's that people pay over the top of the 40p, we get that back. It's nothing to do with the money we make out of the toilets. That's a money coming back to us, and we've ring-fenced the first year out of that money. So we don't need to ask the residents of Whitby to contribute to it, because basically the visitors who visit the toilets, they're paying for it. So we've not changed that budget. If we'd have had to go back and say, right, if we want to do this, we'll have to raise the precept, then that would have been the decision that, yes, potentially finance could have looked at. But at the end of the day, it's still the full council that sets the precept. So if the town council say, this is what we want to do, it's not for the finance to say, no, you can't. It's always a recommendation from finance, and the final decision is the town council's.
How do we respond to that then?
Do we need to?
Don't have to.
Councillor Trump.
I think Councillor Stevenson hasn't spoken yet, so he's got his hand up.
Yeah.
I was just going to suggest that Councillor Wilson's recommendation that we simply receive it is probably right, given the I mean, I must admit I've found the trail of these things a little bit confusing, and it probably isn't simply a case of moving from one column to the other, and it works out the same if the funding for maintenance, particularly if it was coming from the European Maritime Fisheries Fund. However, our decision, as I understand it, and I think you've just clarified, was based on it being for the footbridge. So I think we should receive it. I was just going to suggest an amendment, and that is that we receive it and give a response to whoever this correspondence was from, outlining the basis of that decision. We may not need to, but I think it's appropriate if people are concerned about things from either a procedural point of view or that we may have made a decision based on some kind of disinformation, that they get a proper understanding of why we made a decision. I think we should respond.
No, I don't accept that, no, because we have responded, and if you respond again, you're going to get another response, which is going on further. I second that. So I don't accept the amendment, sorry.
So we've got a proposal that we just receive this information, and we've got a second for that.
Yeah, but you can make a separate proposal if you want.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Just going to say, could we put something on the website?
We already have.
We were asked, especially town council, we can do it.
Yeah, we were asked to put on I can't remember the wording now, but a cost, the cost benefit to Whitby. And we basically said if the Whitby Town Council haven't contributed, the chances are that the footbridge would have been done because they haven't got sufficient funding to do it at this time. Right? We topped up the difference.
Yeah.
If we hadn't done it, the residents wouldn't have benefited because it's something they've been asking for. It was a benefit because we've been able to do it without actually putting a burden on the residents. And out of our sort of good management and taking a bit of a risk with the toilets, we've managed to raise this money to do something in the town, which people have been asking for the last 16, 17 years. Councillor there.
Just say that conversations I've had with friends and family in the town, and I've explained to them how we're going to fund it, and they've all said the answer's brilliant at that time. So, general public, as far as I can see, are all in favour for it.
Councillor Trump?
Yeah, I think the council is right there. But again, I mean, we discussed it in on another agenda item again, with regards to improving the town. The town council set out with the toilets, to improve the toilets, for the town people and also for visitors. That money now will pay a significant reduce because they've got rid of the
non-domestic rate.
Non-domestic, the business rate, which is what we now managed to release from that. We'll get that back as well, so that's money that will come back into the town to pay for things such as the footbridge, such as events, because they do drag people in, and we know that the fact of the Christmas festival, that is dragging people in. People are booking bus trips coming to the town, to visit the town.
Already got people wanting stores for next year.
Spending money in the town, which creates jobs. That's so important. Creating jobs in the town is so important. It improves everything. Jobs are so important for this town. So yeah, I mean, the town council doing that, it's such a benefit that we are doing that, it's such a positive thing. So again, I'm really well that the response to the fact that they wouldn't congratulate us on doing these positive things for the town.
Councillor Martin?
Yeah, no, I don't speak very often. I've got to go in a minute as well. I've got to go. But what I wanted to say was, could we, I agree with what you're saying actually, but I've had positive comments about this, and I've had my own neighbour who works in the industry about anything
also questioning the funding stream in a similar way. So I wonder if something could be done like, not in a definitive way, but like a simple statement maybe, either on the website or in the Gazette, or I don't know where, but say this is how it's come about.
We did do that on the website. Yeah, that would have been on the website.
You can read it. You know,
Yes, yeah. So we've got one proposal before second there. Councillor Stephen, do you want to?
No, vote on that first.
Right, so all in favour.
Can we just have a proposal again?
So all in favour of just receiving the information? Against? That's unanimous,
Councillor Trevor declared an interest.
So, I would like to move a separate motion, and I accept all the points that have been made about everything on the website and so on. My democratic instincts simply tell me that although we might make assumptions about people's access to the internet and having a look at the website and so on, there is something of a mood. I agree, I think we've made the right decision, no question about that. And I've had people, as Councillor Whitby has made positive comments, but I've also had people saying, it seems like, you might have been wrong a bit there, you've taken on the council and that sort of thing. And it doesn't matter whether it's a ridiculous statement or not. There seems to be something of a move for it, and the fact that people have gone to the trouble of putting together this sort of documentation. My instinct is that we ought to put out a statement setting out some of those things. Again, I'll move it.
I kind of don't get the proposal, I'm sorry. So you're proposing that we put out another press release, another tweet, another Gazette letter stating that the County Council are paying X amount at no cost to the public to read.
Well, I think that is one of the pertinent facts, but there are others which the town clerk has mentioned as well, in terms of what our thinking was in terms of, and the points that Councillor Crumper has made about how important it is and how long people have wanted this action out.
So basically it's next press release, isn't it?
Yes, it would be the news item on the website, which does get Facebooked, which gets tweeted.
Councillor Cotton.
I should think Leonardo da Vinci had trouble in his day when he was building things and erecting things and all the rest of it. If this was an upright, if it was a statue or something like that, there wouldn't be any comments. The fact that it's a bridge, and I mean, if I call it a memorial bridge, and then people will think, well, that's great.
I'll just reiterate what you were just saying, Councillor, about the fact that there is this assumption everybody's online and that everybody looks at our website, and I think we're wrong in that, and I think that, it's one thing putting something on a website and expecting people to look at it. I think it's another thing if, for instance, let's say the older generation, or some to say the younger generation like me, aren't very good necessarily. We're all sitting here, we have our iPads and this sort of thing. A lot of people don't like to sit and download things.
It was actually in the Whitby.
Can I just say that and this was a decision we took back at the beginning of July. Apart from this particular complaint, I have received not one single email or letter or anything, phone call about the decision we made.
Well, it's not something I'm looking to die in the ditch over. I think the main I'm happy with it, or jump off the bridge. I'm simply expressing it as an instinct that I have that it wouldn't hurt to the council to make a restatement of its position. If people are going to consider that. That's
Well,
all.
like Councillor Trump, I just think, probably we're doing that for the majority is for Fight for Whitby. It's just something that's being stirred up by Fight for Whitby, I think. And mostly the men, your neighbour might be an exception, but most people would want that bridge, who live in Whitby. I mean, they wouldn't put it on the Christmas list, but why are they going to be complaining about it if it's not put in the free sector? I mean, what is the problem? I don't understand.
I think what my neighbour's saying is it isn't really a complaint about the bridge itself. It's saying the money was already there when we got, it's echoing really what...
It's those figures. They needed 340,000 to do the whole job. They got 220,000 from the MMO. Right?
Yeah,
Not the MMSF.
I know. It's what I told you, this email. I agree, like when Councillor Allen told.
Can I propose that we actually do make a statement, that we wait until we've got a planning application in, and then we could actually link with that as a bit of good news. Planning application, the new bridges in, have a look at it. Whitby Town Council will welcome your contract and do it as a bit of good news that way, when there is something to look at. And then we can blow around the trumpet again and say the bridge is out, because it can be shown it's going ahead, and we can get people to, we can say that we want it. But linking with a bit of positive news. But if we do it now, we're going to look very defensive. We took a decision, we're moving forward.
I've got to go on. Councillor Dalrymple's proposal, Councillor Winstead, so all in favour that we release the new press release when the planning application is. Again. Abstentions, Denison Perry, again.
Was it one against, one against?
No, Kerry and Councillor voted against. And Councillor Trump. Item number 8, committee recommendations to consider any decisions or recommendations arising from the committee meetings. S321/18 for repayments, members approve payments on behalf of the Council from 16th of October 2018, proposed by Councillor Mr Takemonger and seconded by Councillor Stevens and unanimously recommended that the schedule of payments up to 16th of October 2018 in the sum of £27,401 and 64 pence as a taxpayer due our approved payment.
Yeah.
Councillor Trumpet, have we got a seconder? Councillor Wilson, all in favour? Unanimous. S32218, consideration of month 6 budget, 2018-2019. Members consider the budget at the end of month 6, proposed by Councillor Dalrymple, seconded by Councillor Mrs H. Coghlan, and with one abstention, recommended that the end of month 6 budget report is received and submitted to full council for information. Councillor Winstead, Councillor Coghlan, all in favour? Unanimous. HR 352/18, succession planning town clerk 2020. The HR working party draft job advert for recommendations to full council for adoption. With the proposed recruitment pack, 3 minor amendments were agreed. Members reconsidered the timeline and actions and agreed. Proposed by Councillor Mrs R. Hayton, seconded by Councillor Mrs H. Coghlan, and unanimously recommended that the job advert is submitted to full council for adoption and the working party reconvenes to consider further requirements in the new year.